remember Omoni Resitide? We have to finish early so that people can go and sleep. Do you remember, will he ever get there? Will he ever make it? Will he ever hear the sound of the harp? Do you remember Suradi Taylor? Do you remember that in those days to be a musician, your song must make meaning? But to share is síwájú díẹ̀. Ẹ̀dá alóhùn máa jayé ọmọ iṣẹ́ oréré. Ọmọ mi gbọ́ tèmi. Now this was the biggest line of that era.
And I say to our Kabiyesi, Ọba Dabo, Alara and because we cannot clap, we take my neck is so fragile. The edit is not one of the plan for today. Our guest speaker, who by the way I met for the first time today, but I followed every step of the speech during the campaign, and I'm happy that you greatly accept to be here today. Friends, thank you so much for being here today. Panelists were deliberately chosen. Deliberately. We initially wanted, and our chairman said, "No, let's make it tight and compact." And we chose 4. There's no one of the people that made that list that we can remove first. Thank you so very much for I would say that let me stand on existing protocol. I have to leave here at some point. But many indeed ask, what or who is J9C? I don't know what's going on with this. When people saw the 13th anniversary, and I think Madam Toki even mentioned that she tried to round her head around the group, January 9 Collective. This is our 13th year anniversary.
The ladies and gentlemen that I can vouch for one of them was one of our past presidents in the chamber, and the Director General of MAN, who is also one of the people whom we depend on as a manufacturer. The distinguished guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, not minding that the ladies of the collectives, ladies and gentlemen, the media, and the ladies and gentlemen. Let me stop there for the protocols, so I just go straight on to the point of the day. I'm delighted to be here today to share fellowship with the captain and members of J9C at the 13th edition of anniversary lecture on January 9 Collectives. Business and policy strategy, examining the role of reforms in enhancing the ease of doing business in Nigeria. I must admit that the choosing team at this very critical time is a testament to creating value addition to professionalism, excellence in entrepreneurship, honor and integrity, which are the virtues expected from various callings in prompting rapid economic development of our dear country, Nigeria. While I'm confident that the guest speaker will not only do justice to the theme of this year's conference, let me add that there could not have been better topic that could propel the members of the J9C, as well as our distinguished participants at this very particular conference in sharing their investment opportunity into the areas of industrialization. I'm sure I'm speaking for man, of our economy, be it in agriculture, food processing, industrial raw materials, building materials, and more importantly in ICT, as the opportunities are immensely beyond measures.
Together with my finance minister, we set the economic environment. That is why the Prime Minister lives at number 10 Downing and the Finance Minister lives at number 11 Downing, so that they can always see and talk about it. And the Minister of Trade lives anywhere in town. So the idea is this, that if you can hold the value of the currency, you can drop inflation, and you can make infrastructure costs, driving factor costs to be low, then many of the people who don't look like they're tidy when they come to borrow money from you will have taken care of them. So what I'm looking at is not microeconomics, like how to tell a man to run his business, how to tell you to hire workers, basically to set the tone for the economy. And many of the problems where I disagree with the government when they are looking at how to deal with SME, for example. There was a government in this country where used to go on the street and dash people money, trader money, whatever money. But if you give somebody 20,000 naira trader money, by the cost of inflation or interest rate takes 200,000 from their net worth, you will not help them.
But you hardly hear of all this in our reports. In my community, the only indices that we have is that a lot of people are now building houses. There's this concept of Okowaju. A lot of people leave our community to go to Ondo State, to Bendel State, to go and farm, and they come back with a lot of resources. Even those who are within the community, especially the foreigners from Benin Republic and Togo, they are doing so well. Unlike in those days when we had produce inspectors collecting data, we don't see anybody nowadays. And a lot of money circulates within the community that doesn't even get to the bank. We were talking of Money Point and all these all the OPay and Co. But do they have data that can allow those farmers to access loans? They don't. I just want us to address that area. Thank you.
Policy or anything is being done. And when we are talking of economic reform, what we must have as a consensus is that it must affect the policies that affect the economic growth of the country. It must bring efficiencies and it must lead to stability. And when you do all of that, you will know when something is just a government program, because many programs have been passed off as reforms. That is why when the moderator started, the best started, he talked about how television used to be watched in those days, and we sang many songs which we don't sing anymore. But what will surprise us is that many of the economic policies that were in existence during the time of black and white TV are still in existence now. So that calls their language without reforming their policies. And we need to watch out for that, because economic reforms within the context of economics must have footprints. And when you bring econometricians to come and do the econometric analysis, you will see observable changes in the numerals. When numbers change, we know the economy has changed, and we must be able to measure it mathematically. So, I'm happy that Nairametric is here, and any other groups that can know whether something is actually reformed or just being passed up as a reform. But in
I'm able to show you. You organize it. And you know, nylons are becoming a crime in Lagos now. Who remembers what nylons were used for back in the days by Oro traders? Who remembers? No, apart from ice water.
This way.
Captain, you are smiling too much. The next award, the next appreciation plan goes to our distinguished. He said if it comes to me in another 20 years and after we vote for him, we should not. Because he won't be able to function. That's why he jumped around. To our brother, Mr. Nairametrics.com, Ugudre, Umi Chiko. Does not go up, Jando is going to come and beat you. Yes. And next year, I hope she knows she has put herself in trouble. She'll be doing this again next year. Online, we would like to apologize that we could not take your questions. We really apologize, but you know, time is of essence. We will try our best to, I don't know if we can. You will spoil the picture like that. When I shout J9, you know what to do.
Sir, you're out of the frame.